Principles of management. We'll see the topic decision making today. The efficiency of the organization depends upon the efficiency of decision making of its management. Management is essentially a decision making process. In case of every section of management, a manager has to make a choice among alternative courses of action. Decision making. It is defined as the process of choosing a course of action from among alternatives to achieve a desired goals. A decision is an act or choice where the organization reaches to conclusion. Now we'll see about decision definitions. Decision making is defined as a selection of a course of action from among alternatives. Here, many course of action available from which the best course of action will be selected. That is what decision making. The selection based on some criteria from two or more possible alternatives. And you will have steps in selecting the alternative course of action. That is what decision making process. Decision making is the process of selection from a set of alternative course of action which is thought to fulfill the objective of the decision problem more satisfactory than others. So it is selection based on some criteria from two or more possible alternatives. Now we'll see nature and characteristics. Decision making is a process of making a rational choice or selecting one of the various alternative courses of action. It is necessary only when different alternative solutions are available. Decision making is a purposeful activity. It involves the commitment of resources and reputation of the organization. Decision making is always related to the situation or environment. Decision making involves the commitment of resources and reputation of the organization. It has freedom to choose an alternative. It may not be completely rational but may be judgmental and emotional. It is goal oriented. It is a mental and intellectual process because the final decision is made by the decision maker. A decision may be expressed in words or may be implied from behavior. Next, we'll see about types of decisions. Programmed or non programmed decisions. Programmed decisions are normally repetitive in nature. They are the easiest to make. For example, making purchase orders, sanctioning of different types of leave, increments in salary, settlement of normal disputes, etc. On the other hand, non programmed decisions are different in that they are non routine in nature. For example, issue related to handling a series of industrial relation problem, declining market share, increasing competition. Next type of decision, operational and strategic decision. Operational or tactical decisions relate to the present. The primary purpose is to achieve high degree of efficiency in the company's ongoing operations. For example, better working conditions, effective supervision, prudent use of existing resources, better maintenance of the equipment, etc. On the other hand, expanding the scale of operations, entering new markets, changing the product mix, shifting the manufacturing facility from one place to another, striking alliances and with other companies, etc., are strategic in nature. Such decisions will have far reaching impact on the organization. Organizational and personal decisions. Decisions taken by the manager in the ordinary course of business in their capacity as managers relating to the organizational issues or organizational decisions. For example, decisions regarding introducing a new incentive scheme, transferring an employee, reallocation or redeployment of employees, etc. As against such decisions, managers do take some decisions which are purely personal in nature. However, their impact may not exactly confine to themselves and they may affect the organization also. For example, the manager decision to quit the organization, though personal in nature, may impact for the organization. Then, individual and group decisions. It is quite common that some decisions are taken by the manager individually while some decisions are taken collectively by a group of managers. Individual decisions are taken where the problem is of routine nature. Group decisions is preferred uh, when the issues are related to subordinates, when it contributes for better coordination among the people concerned. And decisions may be further classified under major and minor decisions, simple and complex decisions. These are all types of decisions. Then talking about importance of decision making. It can help to solve efficient way in different types of situation. It is a problem solving process which can be a helpful tool. It is an essential part of every situation. Whatever a manager does, he does through decision making. So, here every function of management is under the control of the manager who takes the decision. They are bound up and go side by side in every activity performed by the manager. Whether knowingly or unknowingly, every manager makes decisions constantly. They are repetitive and routine in nature. The manager does not realize that he is taking decision whereas other decisions which are of strategic in nature may require a lot of systematic and scientific analysis. The fact remains the management is always a decision making process. It is a human process. When one decides, he chooses a course of alternative which he thinks is the best. These are all importance of decision making. Then talking about process. Steps in decision making process. The first step is setting objective. An objective is an expected outcome of future actions. So, before deciding upon the future course of efforts, it is necessary to know beforehand what we are trying to achieve. The second process, the second step is defining the problem. It is true to a large extent that a problem well defined is half solved. It is essential for the decision maker to find and define the problem before he takes any decision. Sufficient time and energy should be spent on defining the problem as it is not always easy to define the problem and to see the fundamental thing that is causing the trouble and that needs correction. The third step of decision making process is analyzing the problem. After defining the problem, the next step in decision making is analyzing it. There can be a number of factors involved with any problem, some of which are pertinent to others or remote. In order to classify any problem, we require a lot of information. So long as the required information is not available, any classification would be misleading. Collection of facts and figures also requires certain decisions on the part of the manager. The next step is developing alternatives. After defining and analyzing the problem, the next step in the decision making process is the development of alternative courses of action. The next step is selecting the best alternative. After developing alternatives, one will have to evaluate all the possible alternatives in order to select the best alternative. Choosing the best alternative is to weigh the consequences of one against those of the others. And you have three consequences occurs normally: the risk, the economy of the factor, situation or timing. The next is implementing the decision. The choice of an alternative will not serve any purpose if it is not put into practice. The manager is not only concerned with taking a decision but also with its implementation. Then the last step in decision making process is follow up the decisions. See, some reasons where the decisions has to be monitored and followed. If the decision is a good one will know what to do if faced with some problem again. If the decision is a bad one will know what not to do next time. So this information will be very useful in taking the corrective measures and in taking right decisions in decision future. Thank you.